This is Iran and this is USA. In spite of being a continent and an ocean apart, these countries have always seemed to be fighting. Following the Iranian Revolution, the only high time in their relations was during the Iran nuclear deal. But things have changed since then. So, what's happening?
The USA and Iran didn't always hate each other. In fact, they were Cold War allies. The complicated Iran US relations is a result of unfounded policy decisions, unfortunate incidents, and unfulfilled promises. Let me show you how. During 1950s, USA preferred Shah, a monarch, over Mohammad Mossadegh, a nationalist. The reason Mossadegh's inclination towards Soviet and the oil. Mossadegh was nationalizing British-owned oil industry, but USA staged a coup codenamed Operation Ajax. Mossadegh was removed and Shah reinstalled. Later, Shah fled Iran when he was required to face trials after Iranian Revolution. Shah took refuge in US upon medical reasons. Iran demanded his return, but USA refused, which began a backlash. From Mohammad Mossadegh to Mohammad Ahmadinejad, Iranian nationalists were never quite well with US. During Iranian Revolution, nationalists would wage war with anyone who supported Shah, and US did just that. Even today, Iran looks up to competing global powers for support. Oil has been important for US. During the early 20th century, the US supported the British oil industry in Iran, which took most of the oil profits back to British, depriving Iran revenue from its own resources. Later, USA's reinstallation of the Shah guaranteed cheap oil rates. The change of the regime during the Iranian Revolution terminated the possibility of such favors. And since then, Iran has been facing multiple oil sanctions, although for other reasons. Iran has been defiant of US since 1979. When US refused to return Shah to Iran, Iranian students took it upon themselves to do justice. They seized US embassy in Tehran, marking the beginning of the longest hostage crisis ever.
The U.S. Embassy in Tehran has been invaded and occupied by Iranian students.
The Iranians had fought U.S. Marine guards for 3 hours for control of the embassy. The American hostages were blindfolded, handcuffed, and marched out on the U.S. Embassy's front steps by the revolutionary students.
For the next 444 days, 52 Americans are held captive in what becomes known as the Iranian hostage crisis.
Recently, Iran has threatened to block Strait of Hormuz, which would directly affect oil prices in USA, a national security concern. The USA has sanctioned Iran time and again to pressurize the government to submit to USA's demands. The reality is the sanctions affect the people of Iran. According to BBC, the sanctions have led to a sharp downturn in Iran's economy, pushing the value of its currency to record lows, quadrupling its annual inflation rate, driving away foreign investors, and triggering protests. But does it affect the revolutionary powers? Not quite. It strengthens the revolutionary powers' point of taking a tougher approach towards US. The US allies are the defenders of US interests in the region. These allies face terrorist threats believed to be financed and supported by Iran. Of course, Iran denies, but its influence on these groups has been witnessed in the past. The US doesn't usually reciprocate confidence building measures taken by Iran. The Bush administration promised withdrawal from several sanctions if Iran helps release of the US citizens that were held hostage by Hezbollah. With Iranian efforts, hostages were released, but US showed no sign of recognition. Presently, US has gone one step further by withdrawing from its own deal with Iran. Iran signed NPT in 1968. It is an international agreement to prevent spread of the nuclear weapons. Iran agreed to its terms, including not to manufacture nuclear weapons and to open itself for inspections. However, Iran started its clandestine nuclear program as soon as its war with Iraq was over. It only stopped after Iran nuclear deal was signed in 2015. These 8 reasons have taken over the nation's attitude towards the other. Can these nations resolve their issues and move forward towards peace? But that's a topic for another time. If you like the video, please hit the like button, and for more such videos, please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit the ring icon.